It's been a while, guys. I am vlogging again. But you know, guess what? I am at UNLV on the 007 parking spot. Oh man, this is inverted, so it's gonna look all weird for sure. But lately, update, I have gone through many trials and tribulations about things within myself, mentally, as well as the actual physical nature of problems around the world. This heat is no joke, man. Like, I've had a lot of car issues. I'm sure many of you also have had car issues. And instead of usually being the way I am, where I'm furious with the whole circumstance, I decided not to play the victim this time. Instead, I said, hey, this is trying to teach me something. I'm learning really clearly, with clarity, that wow, this is probably happening for me. And the reason I say that is because I coincidentally, when I say coincidentally, it's like, wow, this is convenient. I bump into people who give me a good moral lesson. And these people are very kind, understanding, empathetic, with, say, trying to help you jump, trying to see that you're okay, being human, like we all should. We shouldn't be ignoring one another. When one of us is down, it's integral to want to help one another, right? If I was in that situation, I would wish someone would stop by and even say hi, even if they couldn't or had the means to help. So I want to break down specific circumstances that have helped me move forward with my talent of wanting to make movies and create film, because I did study for 8 years, or you could even say the beginning of my life, where I was addicted to movies. I wish that this was sooner, but I think this process had to happen the way it did, because I'm able to be outside my body and not be presently aware of the moment. You gotta sometimes really stop being one-dimensional and be able to look around. That's why I think there are tips where if you look here, you look here, you aren't looking forward here, which you'll miss everything if you blink and aren't focused. So, I got out of the theaters one day, the other day, and there was a homeless man who, mind you, he looked really desperate. He was standing in front of a taco shop outside the AMC theaters. Diamond hands. Well, I was with my significant other, and we really felt genuinely concerned and wanted to help him. It was probably 116 degrees outside, and we ended up getting him a cheeseburger, fries, and a drink, like a Jamaica, very refreshing. And he did look very grateful. I was very happy. He even got out of the sun, as he should. But you wouldn't be able to ask for help if you didn't put yourself in harm's way, because people need to see you. So I'm happy he was able to find a cooler spot. It was hot. So I go to my car, and when I make it to my car, my car turns on and the AC's running, but after 3 seconds, I did get an ice cream to go with a churro, and I was like, yeah, nice. It's gonna get cooler. Car shuts off. My significant other with me is furious and like, I don't need to deal with this. And I'm like, man, this really is an inconvenience. We tried to be nice, and then the world is giving me problems. You know, more problems. I just went to see a movie, wanted to get out. But what was cool was that same day, I know I had my package delivered for a self-starter, and I was calling my dad. My dad always, he's the best, he's my hero, always looks out for me, pushes me to be the best. Well, yes, he comes in, I tell him, hey, can you get me the self-starter? It's still in the little delivery package. And yeah, he does come over, but my mom was in such a hurry. I think she just was mad at me. I think she was mad at me because of how I'm not, how you say, focused in my goals with what I need to be doing in my life, and I appreciate that. I understand, but when we finally meet and I get my self-starter, it was just so much chaos with how we were looking at it. The car, it had electricity, but it seemed everyone was saying that, oh, the self-starter is not going to work because it's a problem with the alternator. It won't start if you don't get that fixed. And you know, I was starting to believe it. Even my package, it's brand new. I open it out, and how am I supposed to know that if it's even charged? But thankfully, it was charged at like 69%. So I went ahead and I did it. Said that if it's at least above 60%, it'll work. And you know, when I stuck it in, it jumped it. And I said, yes, that faith and composure, it does help. And I learned something today. It's that be grateful for the people who reach out and try to help. And, you know, when you're in the heat, it gets really frustrating. The other circumstance, I was at work, got off work, and I literally hit the left curb. I was on the left lane, and my front left tire just blew out. It was like really jacked up, and luckily there wasn't many cars because I was driving around 2 in the morning. I get off work pretty late, and man, it was horrible. Middle of nowhere, in a really damp area, and there was homeless people. A homeless guy approached me, and I was like, whoa, he has a hammer. Hopefully he's not like one of those guys that try to like blindside me, right? But he was actually pretty cool. He was around my age. I found out he actually attended the same school as me in high school, and I ended up trusting him, and he felt just happy to speak with me because he looked as if nobody ever even wanted to talk to him. And that's another key point, that hey, you shouldn't ignore people even though they look intimidating and scary, but you don't know what they're going through. And he was homeless. He didn't have any employment, no way of trying to feed himself, and he was so helpful and wanted to do what he can. And what was great was he was very polite and always waited for permission if he could touch and help move my jack. And at the end, my dad came and saved me again, and this guy Oliver, he helped me. And I want to say that wherever he is, I wish him well and God bless, because I learned a lot too about myself. I felt that as I was speaking with him, I really got to have clarity with the things I didn't appreciate in my life, like my job, being able to help family from the Philippines, being able to have shelter, loved ones who care about you and don't abandon you. Oliver had everything, or he didn't have anything that I had, and I think him being able to see my relationship with my father and how we work together and we watch over each other, it made me feel really sad. I wish he had that sort of support from people around him. I know that in this lifetime it will be certain that if I see someone like Oliver, if I see him personally, I will go back to that cross street and I will pay it forward. He spoke to me in a way that I really do feel that God is alive, God is real, and God spoke to me through him, because his eyes really were focused in a way where he knew exactly what needed to be sent to me to push me back on the path that I need to be. Sometimes we take these side quests in life that make us complacent because we have everything that we need. We don't really need to ask for much, especially if you're a humble person. But when you are given a gift or a talent, you can only avoid it for so long until you have to get back onto it, because you're going to help people if you help yourself. And that is the conclusion that I want to make about this subject and vlog. So thank you for listening, and I hope that anyone watching follows your gut, follows your dream, and be kind to others always. Ciao, nos vemos, adios.